Try to tell them we up next, you can't stop that. This your favorite podcast. Every show is lit, baby. You know what we finna do. Slick gon' talk that slick talk, he gon' get political. Okay. Do not switch topics, niggas is toxic. Poppy shots don't always saying something wrong, but if you don't like it, what we saying, nigga, oh well. We try to tell you, baby, this might not go well. This might not go. Hey, that's it. One take. We're not even doing it again. Keep that. That's the one.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of This Might Not Go Well. Yeah. Episode 83. We in the building. You already know who it is. It's the host with the most, B Brezzy, aka Poppy Sazon.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Slick Grayson. How y'all doing out there?
Yes. Please follow us on all social media at This Might Not Go Well. If any branding deals, business opportunities, please email us at thismightnotgowell@gmail.com. I know we missed last week, but we back again. Episode 83, weekly check-ins. I'll let you take the floor, brother.
I don't want to take the floor. All right, I guess. Sorry, y'all. Only reason we missed last week is I had to have surgery. Quick little emergency appendectomy. I'm getting better. But B said he couldn't do the podcast without me, so I'm here. So don't mind if I'm quiet. I don't got much to say. I'm just chilling. But everything else I've been trying to get back. I guess I'm using this as like a OD hard reset because I can't really do shit else but lay down. I can't really go outside. I can't really do nothing too strenuous yet. But everything.
But he came back to pod because he loved y'all. You heard?
I guess y'all niggas cool, but I'm straight.
Come on now.
What's good with you? What's going on?
Oh man, I'm in the process of transitioning into a lot of different things. Shout, had a great community service project the previous weekend. I'm just going through the motions in life and unlocking some new things. And I'm happy that you hit a pod with me today because I ain't gonna lie, I don't think I'm ever dropped the 4 minute. I tried to do it by myself, gang, but it did not hit well. I'm gonna save it just in case if anybody would have heard the failure of me talking to myself. But I'm happy that you at least could pod for a little bit today. All right, so let's get straight into it, man. A lot of stuff has happened in the last 2 weeks, whether that is President Trump's getting raided, monkeypox on the rise. They even letting the COVID, the standard stuff loose in New York City now. But I want to give a special RIP to Teddy Ray, man. Oh, man. Teddy Ray, I'm a big fan of All Def. I love watching Squadcast, and he was part of that, especially the Teddy Ray versus Doughboy. He passed away at the young age of 32. Man, I enjoy watching him, his stand-up, and just RIP to that individual, man. You want to play that little clip, Slick?
I got you.
Hella ass, the sun is still out, my nigga, and it was just, what you doing out here with all this ass? Double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon, hella ass, the sun is still out, my nigga, and it was just, I don't mean, hey, what you doing out here with all this ass?
You're 36. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. He's hilarious. Provided us with a lot of great moments. Sending prayers to his family, also to my boy, Lewis, Doughboy, all of them, prayers and all that. On to some good news. You feel me? Nipsey Hussle got his Walk of Fame. Clap it up. Yes, he got his Walk of Fame in Hollywood, man. I'm happy, especially during this time of his birthday as well. It's nice to see people came out and support. I saw Russell Westbrook, fucking YG, and Lauren London gave an excellent speech. So shout out to Nip. You heard?
One time for neighborhood Nip.
You know the vibes. Now we was just having this talk, Slick, pre recording of just everything that's going on in the NBA, man. If you listen to this today, LeBron just signed a 2-year, $97 million extension with the Lakers.
Could go as
What's your
high as
thoughts on that?
Could go as high as 111 million, depending on the cap. I think that LeBron puts butts in seats, and they don't know what their team going to look like. But you want to guarantee, as long as you got LeBron, you're going to sell out. I mean, Lakers, they're going to sell out regardless. But you know, you're not going to be too far off from a potential play-in playoff spot. Well deserved. He's the highest earning basketball player in history right now, as of now.
Over 535 mil.
And with these new contracts, somebody going to pass it. But I was thinking yesterday, I was like, LeBron was been in the league since the max contract was like $16 million. So to get 47 of them things in 1 year and 52 the next or something like that, like that's a crazy come up. So just seeing definitely inflation, but just seeing the way that the league has become more profitable, you know, and been able to grow his brand. It's even more amazing that he was able to double his on the court earnings off the court. I think he's made more than $500 million off the court. We don't even have the number.
Boy's a Billy.
Yeah,
a Billy.
But it has to be good. I think he clears a Billy easily because you think about his ownership in Fenwick, the sports group that owns the Red Sox and the soccer club. He's a member of one of the biggest sports management companies in the world. His production company's gone stupid. His lifetime Nike deal, which who knows what that pays him annually. So he definitely cleared 500 M's on both sides as a player and as a person, I guess you could say. So proud of him for that. And yeah, I mean, contracts is getting crazy, but remember, LeBron made it possible for a lot of players to feel comfortable moving to other teams and, you know, maximizing their worth and their opportunities to win. So shout out to him.
Well, this next player we're about to talk about can't maximize on another team. Kevin Durant, man, I feel like almost for the last 2 to 3 weeks, bro, we've been trying to see what's going to happen to the Brooklyn Nets since he requested that trade. 1 second, Kyrie was looking to get traded, then he stayed. The next minute, Kevin Durant is trying to get the GM and the coach fired. What's your thoughts on all that?
I think that essentially when you look at it, KD is trying to do what's best for him. And in that regard, I can respect it. What I don't respect about it, and I see the way somebody says something, they like said Jordan would never do X, Y, and Z. That's like Michael Jordan doing. So it said something like, "Oh, it's basically you joined the team." They equated him joining Golden State to like, what if Michael Jordan would have left the Bulls to join the Pistons when they was whooping his ass? And he was like, "Oh, but I'm Jordan. That's lit." Like he's playing around. He thinks shit is funny, but it's also like, bro, you think like your legacy is tarnished, and like you got your rings, and Brooklyn was your chance to kind of go. Remember, you left Golden State to go do it on your own. For all of this, you could have stayed. At least then you would have racked up another 2 or 3 chips. You know, history books probably would have been a lot nicer to you than modern folks would have been. But you and Kyrie orchestrated the move. Y'all went to Brooklyn. A report came out saying that y'all went to Brooklyn and y'all wanted to go to an organization where y'all can have control. Y'all wanted the quote unquote the pseudo LeBron effect, the ability to be like, yo, I don't want this coach, I want this player, that player, this, you know, this trainer, whatever. And it didn't work out. The organization did everything you wanted. They went and they hired the coach y'all wanted. They gave DeAndre Jordan 4 years, $40 million when he was obviously a minimum level player at that point. They traded Karis LeVert and Jared Allen, who Karis LeVert every year is on an all-star trajectory until he gets hurt early on. And Jared Allen, who was an all-star, 2 of the positions that you need help with, your bench and the center spot. You traded them and all those draft picks to get James Harden. Then Kyrie, you know, it took COVID and everything very seriously, a little too seriously.
Got unlimited PTO.
Yeah. Kyrie decides that he doesn't want to play because he didn't like that the NBA was telling him that he had to get a vaccine. I get it. He wanted to be a martyr in the rawest sense of the word. But now that alienated your other boy. Now there's rumors that you want to go follow your boy to Philly so you can go play with him and Joel Embiid. Like, bro, that's not how life works. Yeah,
You'd also mentioned they got Harden.
They had Harden.
Gave him a lot of peace.
Traded Harden for Ben Simmons. And then now, like, I get it. Ben Simmons is another head case. But you signed, and that's not even here. The biggest thing is that you were the best player on the team. You tried to take a leadership role by signing your extension first. Knowing the 2 niggas you was running with was wishy-washy. You let them sign their deals first. Because if you don't sign that extension, you're a free agent right now. And you can willingly go to Cleveland. I mean, go to Brooklyn. Phoenix. You can willingly go to Miami. You can willingly go to Boston. Willingly go to Philadelphia. You signed a 4-year deal that is starting this season. They're not letting you out of that. They're not trading you no matter how much of a bitch you act like. And if we keep it even more of a stack, like, if they do trade you, you thought you fucked the game up before when you went to Golden State and teams was trying to figure out how to not let that cap space explode like that again. This is unheard of. An athlete before the contract extension kicks in is demanding a trade. At a time you already guaranteed, so you guaranteed your money. You can't stay healthy. You've shown the last couple of years. Granted, they've been freak injuries, and you think that because you say you want out of a situation you created, you're going to get that. That's just stupid. It's terrible. So it's like history was going to say yes, Kevin Durant was probably the greatest all-around scorer we've ever seen, but he just couldn't get out of his own way. He got his 2 champions. He made sure he put championships on his ledger, but they're going to judge the character of a man more than his accolades.
Oh yeah, he definitely can't get in the top 5. I don't care if he breaks the scoring titles. He get probably 5 more, and just over the discussion of just overall player, just like on and off the field, he can't be top 5. Nah, he lost that.
He'll be top 20.
No, top 20 is cool.
He'll
like
top 20.
I mean, like if we're going to talk about skill wise, then
skill wise, he's on the top 5. He's one of the top 5 offensive.
Yeah, top 5. But now when when they start talking about other stuff, it's going to be a knock on him. And also, I'm with you. Brooklyn Nets not letting him out because the Brooklyn Nets actually acquired a lot of pieces. Actually, he should not be wanting to leave. They got TJ, who before his accident last year was bucketing in the bubble. They signed a lot of other free agents.
They got
their team is solid. If their team can be healthy and play, that's a championship bound team, to be honest with you.
They have like
Kyrie, Simmons,
4 of the top 12 shooters in the NBA on their roster. Like they could play Kevin Durant and move him to the 4, play Ben Simmons at the 5, and you put 2 shooters with Kyrie. How do you guard that?
Now, granted, I don't mind y'all removing Kyrie because Kyrie doesn't stay healthy. He doesn't, he's also a person that do under PTO, so I don't mind them moving him to the Lakers or someplace else. But Kevin Durant, shit. But my whole thing is, I have a question. Did he sign his extension during the season when
he signed it last summer?
Kyrie? Oh, okay. Because I was wondering if he was doing it during the whole Kyrie thing. And then I'm like, damn, you extra stupid if you saw Kyrie giving it up how he was giving it up and you still decided to sign the extension.
No, he signed it last summer. He thought it was supposed to be he was supposed to sign and Kyrie was supposed to sign and Harden was supposed to sign. And they were supposed to be locked into that big 3 for the next 3 to 5 years. But obviously that didn't happen. I think it's just like I could see what he was thinking. He thought talent-wise, he was on like that LeBron level where, an organization is going to bend to my will because I make things happen. But LeBron had to work with David Griffin to get the pieces in Cleveland. He went to Miami and had to fall in line with what they were doing so that they could win. Because the first year, it was D-Wade's team, and they let LeBron try to, fit in, and it didn't work. But and then they say, "Oh, Bron, it's your team, but we do things a little different around here." And then what happened? They won 2 straight rings. He goes to Cleveland and brings that. At first, the guys that were there, it wasn't working. But then they got the right people around them. And Bron is showing you put the right people around him, he gets you where you got to go. KD has not shown that. Outside of he made the finals in his 4th year, 3rd year, and was a game away the summer before he went to Golden State. It's like, you're not the guy by yourself. You are a killer, but you can't kill to get to the finals. You need somebody else.
Yeah.
And
it's not that game no more.
Yeah, everybody needs somebody, but it's like you went out and joined like the Monstars. You feel me? You didn't get it out the mud. You made it easy. You made it to a team where no one could double team you.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like your body's starting to break down, and you over here making demands. Like you got your money. You might have to sit down and take this because if this happens, the CBA gonna be crazy. The NBA is about to start giving non-guaranteed max contracts. They're gonna start putting all these provisions. Unfortunately, the NBA Players Association is gonna argue it. And we're going to probably be locked out of basketball for a while for cats like Kyrie, Ben Simmons, Kevin Durant, all the superstars that were demanding trades. Basketball contracts, especially with all this money coming in, you ain't going to give somebody we about to start seeing $300 and $400 million contracts in the next 5 to 10 years. So you're not going to tell me I'm giving you $500 million and you're going to tell me a year in, I don't want to be here anymore, trade me. You have no choice. I'm not going to show up. What kind of bitch shit is that? And I'm not calling Kevin Durant bitch, I'm saying, but in general, like you're going to take so if you don't want to be there, why take the money? So you want to guarantee the money and then force your way out 6 months later?
Because the thing about Kevin Durant, even though people give him a lot of flack for joining the Golden State Warriors, he completed his contract with OKC first. So even if anybody want to give him flack,
he was a free agent
for going. Yeah, he completed his contract.
It was a once in a lifetime opportunity. He took it. We don't like
But
it.
now that you got in there, you basically set up everything. And also, I even though I know they might not move him, but I'm gonna be an advocate for moving him because it's like as a coach and as a GM, you're gonna have to see this motherfucker who's trying to get you fired from your job.
Vote like out publicly too, not even
Out publicly. Like how am I supposed to coach this person? After the thing about it is this was Bad Hill was signing Steve Nash off the beginning when Kyrie and him talking about we don't really need a coach on the court.
Kyrie was forward about this shit. Kyrie was like, look, this is our organization. We're gonna do what we want to do. And yeah, they are a Kyrie ankle sprain and a Kevin Durant tiptoeing, wearing a one size too big shoe on a 3-point line away from going to the finals. If we're being honest, 2 years ago, if Kyrie doesn't,
what about the sweep though?
Well, this year, I mean, they didn't have cohesion. Kyrie didn't play most of the season. Harden left. Ben Simmons, they didn't get shit because Ben Simmons refused to play. And then Kevin Durant came off a torn meniscus midway through this year, so he didn't have his legs under him. So I could write that off. Like we could honestly say Boston and Golden State both had a sweetheart's ride to the finals. If we being honest,
the Bucks. We're not gonna talk about it. In the Bucks last year, also had a sweet ride too.
But still, I mean, at least you could say Milwaukee went into series with teams was healthy. They fucked the Heat up last year. They tore up. I mean, they was down until Kyrie twisted his ankle. But that's part of basketball. And then who they play in the conference finals? Oh, Atlanta. Atlanta had no chance, right?
Oh yeah, Atlanta. Atlanta.
But then you look, like I said, Boston went against a Brooklyn team that had been in turmoil all year. They went against a Milwaukee team that didn't have their arguably second most important offensive player. And then who they play in the conference finals? Miami. Jimmy Butler hits that 3. And then we go. Yeah. You feel me? So it's definitely, I guess it's part of the game, but it's like the NBA is wide open in the East. Golden State, Denver missed two of his top 3 players the whole series. Memphis was young and John Morant missed the last game and a half. Who they play in the conference finals? Luka is young.
Oh yeah.
You know,
that team still needs some pieces.
Yeah, Phoenix laid an egg. So the NBA is wide open. I like that it's wide open right now, but it's just definitely like we're seeing like in the next couple of years, we got to see what the league looks like because this whole I don't want to be here the motion that stars are on, but I want your money. The owners aren't going for that.
Oh, no. And I don't blame them. Even though I'm on the side for the players to get their coin, but when you have big superstars like Kevin Durant doing the things that they're doing, I can't support that.
James Harden quitting on 2 teams in the span of a year.
And collecting all that bread.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to talk about this one player, though, just for a quick second before we move on. DeJounte Murray, what the hell has been on your biscuit this summer, bro? I know I didn't put this on the docket, but I just remember this video while we talk about basketball.
Oh, because he was in fight.
We saw him go against the with Paolo.
Number 1 pick, yeah.
Yeah, and then there was a lot of video of him catching a rebound over some dude and then popping him on the head with the ball. I don't know. It's because he got out of San Antonio. He wants to start making a name for himself again.
That boy was probably the most underrated star in the NBA last year. See, I don't think it was that. I think it's, he's in summer league. He's trying to have fun. I think that they said coming out of, I think it was he came out of UW, I think. So coming out of UW, that was one of the reasons he was like such a low pick. They said he had I don't want to say like behavioral issues, but they were worried about his maturity. Maybe that's just starting to flare up right now. But it's also a matter like it's summer league. It's like summer pro-am. Like he can goof around. I think the Paolo thing might have been, just you see when the little homies come up and they start talking to you like y'all on the same level. Sometimes you got Armando, even though y'all are technically on the same level right now. Y'all both in the NBA, And then unfortunately we got that side of it. We got the clips that show him of him acting out
in a crazy situation.
Yeah, so I think we'll see how that plays out. I'm excited to watch them play, even though.
I don't really see that working for. I know Trae Young was advocating for him, but I don't really see how that's going to work out for the. I don't think that's what Atlanta Hawks needed per se. Maybe him in an additional piece, but just him alone, I don't see that.
The problem with Atlanta was that they had nobody else that could create a shot. Everybody, bro, Trae Young, I think he had like some wild ass stat. Like he had like 16 assist opportunities a game. NBA teams average about a team that's in their bracket probably averages about 18 to 20 assists. So the fact that he had a chance to create 16 of those a game, it's showing that there was a deficiency there, and he's a one man offensive engine. But now you got him another player who not only can create, but it's like it's a different style. Like what Trey is creating from the top of the key, from outside in, DeJounte gets to the paint. He rebounds, he defends. So it's like you kind of offset. You can stick Trey on whoever the shooting guard is. We know there's not a lot of lethal shooting guards in the league, and let DeJounte go handle whatever point guard is out there. So I think it can work. You think about, like I said, they had a bunch of skill guys. Kevin Huerter, who they traded, shooter, but not really going to create. DeAndre Hunter, scorer, not really going to create. The bigs, not really going to create. They didn't really have a backup guard. And if worse comes to worse and they have to trade him, DeJounte Murray's on a tradable contract. I think he makes like 18 or 19 million. He's a bargain for what his production level is. So the way they gave up those 3 first-round picks, they'll get those back and then some if they do end up saying it doesn't work out. So it works out either way.
All right. Now we are for the sports world. Now we go straight to entertainment. All right. Swiss and Timberland is suing Triller. Bro, it's the end of the verses. I think it's officially your verses. Get them out of here then, because I feel like now, with given the lawsuit and how the verses trend been on a downhill, nobody's really excited for verses like that anymore. It's over. It was a great thing during the pandemic, like you said in the previous episode, but I think it has run its course now.
I think that what happened is that this is like a lot of black things too. Sad to say, this might not go well. When you have something good, you jump at the opportunity to make it bigger, but sometimes bigger isn't always better. Pause. Like I feel like in the sense of what Versus was at its finest when it was 2 people on live playing their music, or when they were in the same room, so you're gonna have to worry about it going too crazy. And I think that there were safer plays. They bet on themselves. They bet on Triller, an up-and-coming music thing. But you also got to look at the business of a company. Just because a company's throwing a bag at you up front, what is their business like? I know they had a deal on the table with Apple. They had a deal on the table with Tidal. They had deals on the table with other, more experienced companies that probably could have provided them less liquidity up front, but probably a better business model and better, sense. I think they wanted that ownership, but you also got to look at what you're owning. Like just because it's a Mercedes, just because it's a Mercedes doesn't mean you have to buy it. Because who knows, that motherfucker is a 2022 or a 2002. You feel me? I think Triller for what I think it was like they owed them.
They sued for $28 million.
They're supposed to get $5 million in January or by March, and then $500,000 a piece every month for the next 10 months after that. So they have not received one payment.
But Thriller saying that they paid these niggas over $50 million already. So I'm just like, sheesh.
It doesn't matter if they might have paid them up front, but it's with the contract. So they might have paid them $50 million for the actual platform Versus, and then they might have been like, all right, and then starting in 2022, whenever the dates were, all right, we'll pay you this. Remember, they were added to the chairman board of the company, right? So it's not like you took my IP, but then you also owe me money for whatever we're working on. If that makes sense. So, I don't know. I feel like, they saw an opportunity to profit, and unfortunately, they're not profiting with the way they felt. And it was a pandemic proof. It was not a pandemic proof platform, if we're being honest. It worked because we were in the house, we were bored, and it kind of took us on musical journeys that we hadn't really been to. It exposed a lot of young people and people that probably weren't in tune with certain artists to their music. And it was just nice to be able to, I'm stuck in the house, but let me go through this Isley Brothers catalog. Let me go through this, let me go through this Neo catalog. Let me look, who is Jonte Austin? Who is Sean Garrett? Like shit like that, which was cool. It lost its novelty when it started becoming, what's the word I'm looking for? When it became like a show off fest.
Yeah, and it's not really. And then it's more so like I understand what artists was trying to do because artists didn't really want to compete on that type of level. Because it can cause some different types of friction, and it started becoming more of an artist appreciation. But after a while, even though yes, it gave us some classic moments. I'm talking about some classic moments. You feel me? But I think like you said, it overran its course. Like I think them trying to do some other stuff get back in the lab and recreate something else. And I know that's hard to say from outside looking in, but that's how I feel about verses. Like, I'm only going there for the highlights. Like, I'm not really even, I don't even know when the last time I caught it live, to be honest with you. Even with the whole Omarion situation.
I still ain't watched that whole shit. I started watching. I watched the Ray J section of it, but that's it. And I watched that like on vacation. You saw it? I was watching it on vacation.
Facts. I only saw clips. I ain't really sat there and listened to it live. So that's how I feel. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we a small minority, and maybe the rest of America.
Niggas don't fuck with verses like that no more. It's something to do when there's nothing to do. And they started putting them shits on at 10 o'clock on a Wednesday night. I was like, who the fuck do y'all think y'all are?
Most of these people at those artist demographics are old now. They ain't young.
And that's the thing too. It's like, it's not like they're even pulling like the heavyweights anymore. I mean, you get certain decent matchups. Like, no disrespect to Omarion and Mario, but who's checking for them in 2022? Like, Omarion drops a good single. Mario had to join with Chris Brown, but it's like, this might not go well either. They've become pseudo legacy. That's what Versus really became a legacy show. It shows the show appreciation and give your flowers to certain artists, but now y'all putting it into a concert and you're making it a competition when it's a singing contest, when it's a performance contest versus
but the thing about it is you forget some of these big artists have egos, like Chris Brown.
Yeah, you're not gonna do it.
Don't think nobody can stand up on me on the stage, like.
But then, but would you expect Chris? I bet you if it was during the pandemic, he probably would have did it. If it was just like get on live and play your music and just vibe. But we, as an audience and as the people, the moderators, we as collectively created that competitive vibe. We like, oh, so and so lost. Like when, oh nah, you got shit on. I'm on your ass. Dream, you supposed to win, and then Sean Garrett came back in a sec. You feel me?
Drunk as hell.
And then it becomes, like I said, you go on shit. It becomes performance. It's now there's no more. Let's just sit and listen to the music.
But I like that though. I like the performance factor because there are some artists that could go up like Jadakiss and the Lox and Dipset. The performance is what got them the dub.
It is
because if we sat down in that room and let them play their tracks one by one, I'm sorry to say this, but the Lox is getting smoked.
Yeah, you're right. But I also feel like that also takes away from it too, because you got to be like but you have to be on the same accord. I feel like Dipset didn't think that was what it was going to be. They were just cocky, Harlem niggas. But I feel like they thought it was going to be like, oh, we're going to play our music and vibe. You feel me? And perform a little bit. That Jadakiss made it a showmanship show, but prior to that, it's like, yo, it was safe to just play your music and vibe out and let people just, you're not really interacting. You just the comments is saying this. That's it. You feel me? That's why you can get a Snoop and an X to do it. That's why you could get who else are some big names that did it early on. It'll come to me.
Isley Brothers.
Yeah, like it's like it was safe. It was just like, yo, come enjoy the music. But I don't know. I feel bad for Versus. I'm glad we caught it at its peak. Sometimes when you catching it at its peak, that means you sadly got to watch its decline too.
Yeah. Now watching this decline, this next person. Irv Gotti, Drink Champ, got to be up there in the top podcast interview or podcast episode up there, bro. This man, Irv Gotti, I appreciate. Now, I'm about to call him out on his corniness, but I'm going to give him his flowers at first. Not only what he did in the hip-hop game and with that TV show and what he's about to do with his other documentaries and his other TV shows that he's going to do. He's a legend in the building. I'm going to give him his flowers, and he's unfiltered, and I appreciate about that by anybody that's genuine himself and unfiltered. But, boy, you set us, man, back a couple of steps with that interview, bro. Oh, my God. Nobody need to know about you and Ashanti like that, bro. My boy was salty.
You watched the whole interview?
Hell no, I ain't watched that whole interview. Drink Champ be going for 2 or 3 hours.
This might not go well then. Yes, he definitely was corny for bringing it up, but the way social media put it together versus like actually watching it, I watched like an hour and a half of it. You know me, like I said, I haven't had shit to do. I watched like 7 Drink Champs episodes in the last week or two.
He only talked about it for a little bit of his interview, right?
Yeah, if you really was a timestamp, it might have been like 10 minutes. In my mind, I thought it was like the whole like nigga said first 5 minutes. He mentions he definitely does. He mentions the watch. He mentions like talking about her. He goes and tells stories about X and Ja and Murder Inc. and shit like that. I think that we ran with the social media narrative that he spent 3 hours talking about Ashanti. He didn't.
Oh no.
But he definitely was, and it came up because he was like, "Yo, we doing, this documentary. We doing." I'm not defending what he said either. Don't even get it twisted. But I'm saying, like, for contextual, purposes, he definitely was like, "Yo, we doing this Murder Inc. documentary. We got all this shit popping." She didn't want to do it, and he's like, "Yo, that used to be my bitch." Da 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 da. But she, she said she didn't want to throw off. And like, you could tell he's genuinely hurt. Like, on multiple fronts, from her not being his lady, from her turning down being a part of Murder Inc. to this day, shit like that,
and her leaving him during the time of the raid and shit.
But at that point, like, he even said it. He's like, "Yo, her label was probably telling her like, yo, he going down. Like, you don't need to be that." And it's true. I'm gonna stand next to you. You're not really my person.
And she not one of them down ass Jones like that. She didn't come from that life.
And it's like there was a thread that showed how dirty he did her, like fucking up her album releases, trying to put on his other artists by using her as the face of it, giving away hit records that she had written and come up with. He definitely talked about how he inspired babies. Like, things that like you can't really quantify the impact. I think it was just this was just a big push to putting him back into the conversation for a couple weeks. You got to think about it. Before this, who was really talking about Gotti?
Oh no. But he's promoting his show. That's why he's doing this.
So how do you promote sensationalism? Sells.
Oh,
so that's why I'm kind of like
I'm upset though, bro. I'm upset because it's like, yo, bro, that's some corny shit that you do, and I understand when women be talking about corny shit that guys do. Like, bro, I can tell from those minutes he was talking about Ashanti, I can tell he knew he fucked up, but he don't want to admit he fucked up. You know why you lost her, bro. And this is something that we got to shit on guys about sometimes. Like, we come on the platform, we talk about what girls do wrong, but we got to talk about what guys do wrong. Like, the reason why Shorty left you. You know why Shorty didn't want to fuck with you and didn't ride or die with you. It wasn't that you was the greatest nigga. You was fucking up during that time, bro.
He said
you was fucking up.
He said he had other women and shit like that.
Yeah, and then you mad salty because she got with a lot of nigga. And then also you talking about the watch, and then you referring some girl that you said that you love as a bitch. Shout out to Jaru, because a lot of people was getting on Jaru that Jaru didn't check him, but Jaru did check him about calling her a bitch. So shout out to Jaru about that. But it's like
he was real quiet. A lot of in the moments of disrespect, he was type quiet.
Because he's in the middle. You feel me? I don't blame him for that.
You definitely in the middle, but it's like, yo, I'm like, come on, why are we doing this? Like, this is UODing at this point.
You feel me? But I'm like, yo, that's corny behavior, bro. That's really corny behavior. Like, yo, just take that loss to the chin, bro.
But did we ever think he wasn't corny? That's my thing too. Like, this might not go well. A nigga just don't magically become corny. You feel me? And that's my thing. Like, money can only hide your corniness for so long.
Oh, gunshot that shit, Slick. Ooh.
Like, money and clout and shit could only hide your quick. If you was a corny nigga without money, you a corny nigga with money. Like, you're not fooling anybody. It's gonna come out. We seen it. As soon as he flipped the watch, who got me this watch? He was that nigga when he didn't have money. You feel me? But at this point, it's just like, yo.
And don't be, and then for all you corny niggas who got it, don't be misconstrued that people are showing you love, because those people that are showing you love and all that are just vultures and corny people themselves.
I'm about to say, like, yo, Ja in the middle, he like, yo, that's my man's. Like, hey, don't worry. Like, if your man's is corny, your man's is corny. It's like, fuck it. It's like, all right, my nigga. Like, I listen to you with one ear. Like, okay, you ready? We done? So I give Ja a pass on that. Like, yo, we done been through some shit. We done made some money. We done made
because he's loyal. He's corny, but he's loyal.
Yeah, like, you made family. But it's like, again, a nigga corny. Everybody not meant to have good pussy or elite pussy.
But I ain't gonna lie, Ashanti must got good pussy for over 20 years. My boy still thinking about it. Her shit top tier. I ain't gonna hold you.
She might be just the baddest chick he had. He tried to play it up, like, he's Irv Gotti. Murder Inc. was we not going front.
Well, I don't know if is she the top? Because I know he been with some good looking Johns.
He been with some baddies, but that might be the one that's like, she openly said, "Nah, I don't want you no more." You feel me?
Oh yeah. That hurt a nigga ego. Let's deep dive in that. You know when a shorty just like don't want to be with you no more, that should hurt your pride. Like,
yeah, because you go from lovers to strangers real quick.
What? Like, what you mean? Like, you gonna go fuck, and then him seeing her fuck with Nelly, like, I know his ego was hurt. Like, wait, you gonna fuck with this nigga here? I'm better than this nigga. I could really see how that was flowing in his mind. Like, oh, you gonna fuck with this nigga named Dirty? You feel me?
It'd be like that.
But I mean, I still respect what he did in the hip hop game, and
it'll take away from the love he did with X. He still produced like his Murder Inc. from is legendary. But it's just like I said, a corny nigga is still a corny nigga, no matter how many accolades they have.
That's a fact. And a shout out to Ashanti for not even addressing it. Still performing on stage with Nelly. I think they have a good relationship now after they break up. They didn't respond to it, let it flush over.
They fucking again. Let's not even mince words. Let's cut it out. Let's cut it out. Let's just move on because we talking about breakups. Let's talk about this Breakfast Club shit. Let's go.
Oh, man. The end of an era, man. Angela Yee is leaving the Breakfast Club.
Does she really have to still? Can you tell when she's there anyways?
Ooh, you know what?
I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just saying, like,
nah, I can tell. Like, the thing about it is, like, it's like us. I couldn't do this show without you because, you know, it's a sort of a chemistry. Now, granted, we all know that Charlamagne the God is the star of the Breakfast Club,
and DJ Envy has great talking points during interviews. He's definitely the one that moderates. Yeah. Angela Yee, over the years, has pulled back. That's what I'm saying. I've seen,
but she asks the so how I see it and their dynamic is Charlamagne. Maybe the old Charlamagne will ask out of pocket questions. Now this Charlamagne in this new era in his life is asking the more questions that the fan wants to hear. DJ Envy is going to moderate, and then you have Angela Yee that's going to ask you the standard journalistic type of questions, which might not be needed in the whole entire interview, but it is needed for the interview, if you get what I mean.
I haven't heard Angela Yee ask an intro. I've been home. I've been watching Breakfast. I have in the interviews for the artists that I care about. I have not seen. I've heard her ask better. Actually, no. Even on her podcast, what is it called again?
Oh, Lip Service. Oh, she the king. She the queen over there.
I feel like I feel like her homegirls be holding it down. Like they're more in it. I feel like she be just drunk asking nasty shit. I mean, I appreciate that because my nasty ass love a nasty conversation. But I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like, if she's gonna go to another and she's getting another show, and it's probably still be nationally syndicated, and she'll find somebody to play off of. It's
gonna be part of the iHeart brand.
And they'll find another woman that can come in and, you know, make it work with them. I'm all for it. Maybe they'll get somebody that's like more earthly and spiritual or something to offset. Because I feel like her cadence and line of question is more so tailored to lip service or tailored to something that she needs to be the central focus.
Yeah, she gotta be dominated in that because you know when big personalities like Charlamagne and Diva, even though DJ Envy is not as dominated, but he is sort of has more control than her in the interview style. So I definitely agree. I don't know who can replace.
I mean, we don't know who.
You know, there's some talks about Scotty Beam, L'Oreal. Even though L'Oreal and Angela Yee are like best friends, maybe Angela Yee might give her a blessing to get her friend a job up there so she could continue doing lip service because she stopped doing lip service because she does radio in Atlanta. So maybe Angela Yee can give her the blessing so she can move back to New York, and maybe she could go back to because not only in this new deal that she has with her TV show, but her podcast is also getting a national look as well. So maybe that could be a good help for her too.
Congratulations to her. I'm just saying the Breakfast Club is going to be different, but I'm not saying it's going to be worse or like it's over. I feel like it's like school. Niggas graduate and somebody else come in and you might be apprehensive at first, but then a week later that's your nigga.
but I want to talk a little bit about the Breakfast Club because, you know, when Charlamagne started posting about like some of their favorite moments, like, yo, over the last 12 years, the Breakfast Club has given us moments, bro, going from the Birdman, even the Beanie Siegel, Fredo Starr. These are just some iconic moments. Him telling MGK your verse is whack.
It probably was whack.
Yeah, that's why that nigga went to a rock star. I don't blame him.
No, he was a plant. Let's call it what it was. He was a plant. Like Post Malone said, I rap because it's easier. I was able to make my millions and I can make the music I want. Let's keep
yeah, we done do that. And then, you know, him making Little Mama cry, even though he didn't make her, but that's just the running joke. I ain't gonna hold you. Yo, they are a stable, even though they're in the Radio Hall of Fame, bro.
And
When that show is done and over, bro, it's gonna be responsible. That documentary, forget about it.
And the two most important people on the show were still there, so we got some time.
You already know the vibes. Now, oh man.
I know nothing about this, so I'm gonna be quiet.
Don't be quiet. Don't leave me out here by myself. We gotta report the news, Slick.
I didn't even hear about it, so is it really news?
I mean, the girls on the Twitter was feeling some type of way. A lot of girls was expressing that they got dick fished out.
They probably felt the same way as niggas when they take that little wrestler suit off and the shit drop. It happens. Let's keep going.
Looking like put it in a Ziploc bag. But yo, so apparently, Safaree sex tape got leaked with a lot of Love and Hip Hop star Kimberly, not Joel's Kimberly, a different Kimberly. And a lot of girls was not feeling it because they was like, yo, this was not the schmeat that we saw that got exposed a long time ago. And I'm just like, yo, I ain't gonna lie. Niggas dick fish a bunch of girls out here. You feel me? You send her a nude, you get the right angles, you make sure your shit look great, and then when she gets it, you be like, hey, yo, it is what it is. We in the motion.
I went on Twitter and typed in his name, and then they are flaming him. This is hilarious, actually.
Yo, and then the thing about that pissed me off about Safaree is, bro, why you pretending like your shit got leaked, bro? This shit was a whole production, bro. And then you over here talking about you gonna take full investigation with your lawyers. Nigga, who you gonna sue? Yourself? Nigga, we all know you've been nigga, you have an OnlyFans.
Well, damn.
Just upset that you didn't get the response that you was looking for. You was thinking that girls was gonna gas you, but they talk about you got a chicken nugget. Fuck out of here.
That's hilarious. No comment.
All right, because not stay on this topic too long. I want to talk about Goat Man. Yeah, that's him. It's like, you good. I'm about to get in my bag right now. Top 2 and not 2.
Let me know when I can turn my mic back on.
Got more slaps than the Beatles. Who else will bring during OVO Fest, bring their first girlfriend out back to the city to perform? Who? Drizzy Drake Rogers. Mr. Do Right and Kill Everything himself. I only hear nothing about Kendrick Lamar, even though my boy still showed love to him by attending his concert. Even though that nigga Kendrick Lamar was looking like one of them little Harlem crackheads doing pull-ups in New York City a while ago, I don't hear nothing about no damn J. Cole either. More slaps than the Beatles. If you haven't heard, Drake got the most top 20 entries in Billboard history. Let alone about other stuff let alone about other records he breaking in Spotify and Apple. When are we going to finally respect this man as the GOAT? He breaks the Beatles record for the top 5 hits on Billboard Hot 100. Slick, what you guys say, Slick? I know. Come on now. You'll stand too with me. Come on. Don't leave me out here by myself.
That's a great accomplishment, but I think I look at, I don't know, Billboard pre-streaming versus post-streaming is just two different things to me. Because pre-streaming, it was about how many records you sold. But streaming, we never it's like equivalent. Because I'm not going to sit here and pretend like that Khaled and Drake song is it.
Oh, yeah, no. That's staying alive.
I feel like with streaming, depending on how like the providers feel about it, I'm not saying he didn't earn it, but it's like, would that song have sold like that if we weren't trying to quantify streams? You feel me?
Oh no, you got hate in your blood.
I don't have hate in my blood.
I didn't call you to put hate in the blood.
No, I said it was a great achievement, but I also have to I've been following on Billboard since I was 10 years old. So I remember when it's like a song went number 1 because you actually had to physically buy the fucking CD that had like 4. Remember the CDs that had like 4 songs? So you got the song.
Oh yeah.
You got the remix. You got the instrumental. And you got like a B-side track. Like I remember that shit. And you like they went by radio numbers and shit like that. So like with streaming like convolutes a lot of stuff because like based on your name as an artist, you're going to debut top 10. Like I'm gonna throw another person you hate, J. Cole, right? Love J. Cole. Anytime J. Cole drop, his singles go automatically to the top 10. I'm like, yo, this wasn't happening prior to streaming. Taylor Swift, she get one, but it'll be a gradual growth. When she drops, she get like 8 songs in the top 10. Even Drake drop. We know we getting at least 7 slaps in the top 10. So that's why I say it's definitely a different ball game. It's a great accomplishment. But I think that when we try to rationalize the Beatles, Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, Diana Ross, Whitney, all those people that actually had to sell records, it's a different era.
I mean, but
modern wise though, Drake is a guy. Of the streaming era, he's the greatest artist of all time.
But I think for, at least for certain artists. Now I get what you mean. Now with but I think you have to put an exception for artists like Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, and Drake when it comes to the Billboard. Now for other artists, it's I want to respect their numbers that much. Like a Little Baby, a Gunna. No offense, they make great music, but I won't put them in that league with the Beatles and Michael Jackson. But as far as those three that I mentioned, I think if you put them back then when it was just purely or when hip hop just started, I think they could have really did those numbers as well.
I think not saying they want to do numbers, but I'm saying streaming is a double-edged sword because you get the accolades, but it's also like what Cole said about computers running your shit up. All you got to do is change your IP address and that's a new stream. You feel me? You listen to an album, a stream goes through. Back in the day, if it wasn't a single, that shit was not charting.
But I'm looking at some of these number one hits that he has on the Billboard 100.
Oh, number one's absolutely number one is number one.
These ones, the ones that went up there for him, like God's Plan was number one. Work with Rihanna, One Dance.
So look at it like this: any song that was number one more than 2 to 3 weeks. If it's a 1 week flash in the pan, that's where I say that's the effects of streaming. His number ones is number one, but there are number ones where it's like, he dropped the album. It's the song everybody played, and they read it. You know, it jumps to number one, as opposed to like Michael Jackson having to drop a single and a video and for the songs to gain traction like that. You feel me? Again, it's like 2 different eras. Is why when I read those Billboard articles, I just kind of be like, you know, I see what they're trying to do. We're trying to create new megastars, new legacy acts and whatnot, but it's a different ball. It's like inflation. $1,000 today ain't buying you this. Is not buying you as much as $1,000 30, 40 years ago. If that makes sense. Like it's still $1,000, but it's like 30 years ago, how'd have been living like a god who went to DR and bought the island. Now it's like
I agree.
Now it's like I just got a couple Instagram baddies cooking me breakfast naked.
but the thing about it, the reason why I'm gonna put Drake on the opposite list of all that is because it's consistency with him.
Absolutely.
Like
he cultivated
Michael Jackson or so will put out an album and work the record for a year or two and then, you know, go about their business. This man he really hasn't leave us without a hit since fucking best I ever had, to be honest with you. Since at least once a year, you can tell he's in the top 50. He's going to be in the top 50, and I'm looking at his numbers now. For every year, he's in the top 50.
Absolutely, I'm just saying.
So for him to sit here and do it on that level, I gotta. He's the GOAT. I don't want to hear no more Kendrick Lamar. Even though I heard his concert is fire. Shout out to that concert as well.
That shit was wicked. I almost want to see it again. That's how fire it was.
You know, J. Cole's still killing verses because I just was listening to his to the Benny the Butcher song, and I ain't gonna lie, that verse was hard. But hey, when it comes to being the face of this shit, the man from Toronto, the sixth god, the boy. Now, you know who? Now let's get into this quick little topic of Doja Cat. What's your whole thoughts about this whole Doja Cat situation? Her growing bold, her arguing with fans and talking about she doesn't want to be sexualized.
Everybody want to be famous, so they famous. She's been trying to, she's a hell of an artist, but a lot comes with the fame. But when you're going through it, you can't just stop. And that's the unfortunate part of today's society. Like, at least in the back in the day, you didn't want to. There was no social media. You could just go in the crib for a couple weeks. You feel me? Her whole appeal was built on weirdness and sexiness and goofiness. And I think that whatever she's going through in life, I remember she tried to quit her concert a couple months ago. I think that
because she had a throat infection type stuff.
But she's crying out for help, and I think that she needs that help. And it's not going to be whittled down to just people over sexualizing her. It's not going to be whittled down to her not liking her hair or whatever, her appearance. I think that she needs to take a break and reevaluate and get healthy mentally, because I think these are wild signs. They can get even wilder, and I think that you don't want to see an artist burn themselves out before they even have a chance to reach those heights that they're trying to get to. So I really just send her a lot of like healing energy, because we've seen it with the Britneys, we've seen it with the a lot of artists just get into a place where they it is a lot for them, and you don't want them to see that talent extinguished too soon.
All right, this might not go well.
There you go.
All right, first of all, I get into my opinion. She said the reason why she shaved her head and her eyebrow is because she feels like she never liked having hair. I can tell you one time since the beginning of my life that I ever felt like this is cool. I just don't like having hair. And then, recently she just showed her underwear in public. Now, with all that to be said, this is a perfect example. And she might not be the perfect example, but my analogy is people in this era trying to get put on by any means necessary and not understanding the totality of getting put on. Yes, everybody wants to get put on. Hey, look at us. We potting right now. And do I want this podcast to get put on and be talked about and be, one of the top podcasts? Yes. But that doesn't mean that I want to come out here saying some wild, fragrant shit and, doing a whole bunch of weird shit, because I understand that if we attract people when we do them type of shits, that's our brand. And we're going to be very limited even once we get to that level of what we can do due to the reputation of the podcast. So I want our podcast to be organic in growth and become one of them stuff due to our terms so we could feel more comfortable with it. With that being said, how did Doja Cat came on? Bitch, I'm a cow. Moo. Then she started releasing dope records. What she ended up doing? She started trolling, start doing a whole bunch of things online, creating this persona of hers. And look, it helped her tremendously. Not only she's talented and create great music, but everybody is in love with her. But this is what I mean by how do you get put on? You got put on with the gimmicks and things, even though you do have the talent to back it up, but you got put on through the gimmicks. And now you want to release yourself from that, and it's kind of hard now. And it's sad because I don't want you to suffer, but it's kind of like you can't. And what this generation needs to understand, especially the social media generation, is getting put on for that 5 minutes practically almost dictate how rest of the hour is. If you get where my analogy going with, Slick. Like, you can't sit here and do these antics and then expect it as soon as you get put on, it erases itself. No, it does not. It follows you. So be mindful of how you get on, because I know a lot of people chasing for viral moments just to, get on, and then they can start doing what they want to do. And I'm like, it does not really work that well. Not saying that it can't work, but most of the time, from what we can see, it doesn't. And I pray for her too, you feel me? Because she makes dope music. I just finally got to listen to her deluxe album not too long ago. It was fire, but I just say take a break. Clear your mind, get your shit ready, stop going on live. Talk to your family members, seek some help, and then, come back refreshing anew. That was good, right? I'm not getting canceled for that, right, Slick?
I doubt it.
Okay. Now, Kanye West, man, I ain't gonna hold you. The more and more Kanye West be acting, the more and more I can't jack him no more, B. You out here getting the same tattoo with Stephen Lacy and Little Uzi.
He bipolar. He crazy. That's fine.
And then you over here, you hear Pete Davidson in your ex-wife breakup. You talking about Pete Skeet Skeet is dead type stuff.
Skeet is dead because he not fucking his bitch anymore. So he don't care. He gonna call him Pete. He gonna call him Peter again.
Got this boy seeking mental health. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Kanye West. Then you're unhappy with the release of your product and you stuffed it all in a garbage bag. Slick, I'm gonna need you to defend your man. This you like him. This is your guy right here.
I just say you crazy, nigga. What you want me to say?
That's it. That's the only thing you got.
I don't, bro. I'm still getting. I'm at like 75-80%. I ain't got it.
All right, cool. We'll do a deep dive, but you better.
I'm gonna just say this: Kanye need help. He also likes attention. The petty person in me is like, oh yeah, you took my joint, and now she left you too. Yeah, I'm gonna get my shots in. Was it in bad taste? Absolutely, but it's Kanye West. Now he's proven more times than not, or society has proven more times than not, that we will be mad at him for a week and forgive him a week later just for him to do some next shit the next time. I really do send Pete Davidson a lot of healing energy too, because I'm allowed to say, ain't nothing like when you lose a girl that's out your league. That's the wild. Pete had some bad bitches. He had her. He had Ariana. He had billionaires. So
and then I think the report says, you know, she wasn't really looking for anything serious. It's like, bro, when you realize, like, my nigga, you was the
Kanye getaway. She used you to get away from
rebound. You rebounded.
Not even a rebound. She wanted to alienate Kanye. That's what it was.
I ain't gonna lie, I feel for my boy because I'd be sick too. Like, damn, I really thought we was having something. You know, she probably was joking and all that other stuff. Meanwhile, she was never taking you serious, bro.
Pete, take a line from the book of the Herb Gotti and the Corny Niggas. You still hit.
Oh, that's a fact. Because they
still beat though.
Because there's a clip of him of their show where she was trying to get out the dress. She was like, "Oh, you want to jump in the shower with me?"
Still beat though. That's the name of this episode. Still beat though.
Still beat though. All right, so the last topic before we get to the song of the week, did you hear the new Megan Thee Stallion album?
Nah, I haven't heard no new music, but I heard good stuff about it. I heard a couple of clips of the songs. This is like the last record on her deal, right, for 1501.
Yep.
So that's important. I think that she fulfilled her obligation, unlike certain basketball players that are 7 feet tall and live in Brooklyn right now. And, you know, I think now is when you should be, if you're a Meg fan, this is when you should be excited. Because I think that now that she's out from under the asterisks of, you know, that 360 deal and being able to go sign with who she wants, if the reports are true, I think that creatively, I think that relationship-wise, especially depending on how this Tory Lanez thing go. Because let me tell you, if that shit turns out that she wasn't being complete, if that shit was fictitious, the album sales is going to be vicious. But But barring that not going her way, I think that we'll see a different Meg next couple. I mean, she's still gonna talk about how fire her pussy is, and I mean, based on the picture stuff, I believe her.
Yo, let's talk about
I'm
that.
I'm not mad at it. I be bumping her little "My Pussy Fire" songs. Them shit's lit.
Nah. I gotta talk about this real quick, and maybe we should have saved it for the toxic segment. But yo, some of you girls do not have the fire, yo. I'm not, yo. Well, Slick, can we pop real quick for a second, yo? I'm not talking about Meg person. I'm not talking about Meg. I'm talking about in general. Yo, all you girls not all you girls got the wet box. I ain't gonna hold you, yo. Not all y'all got the juicy fruit like y'all think y'all do. Some of y'all shit be mid. Let's be honest, girls. Some of y'all like what?
Need to take their supplements. Get you some ashwagandha. Take your vitamins. You know.
Get you your big three.
Your macro. I found one. We can make a big. I guess for the 100th episode, we'll introduce the new member of the big three.
Oh, facts. We'll discuss that. But like, you know, and I'm not even going to shit on women. Like, yo, fellas,
don't be.
Y'all know when dick not slapping.
Don't be a Safaree out here.
You feel me? You feel me? So it's just not for y'all. But like, I be hearing girls all the time, especially on Twitter and everything. Yeah, my coochie. You know, I had some bad coochie back in the days.
You know what you call a bunch of empty words? Fiction. And that's what Twitter is. Fiction.
You feel me? Some of y'all shit do not be be elite like y'all think it is, mama. Your shit was just needed for the time needed. All right,
and it be different for different folks because one nigga loved it or one shorty loved it. Don't mean the next one gonna love it. So don't be over here using your Yelp review does not stand with me. I need to experience it for myself, and then I'll give you a 3-star rating.
Cause my man's hit it. He told me,
but then at the end of the day, what I'm gonna say, still beat though.
All right, let's get to the song of the week. All right, if you are listening to this on YouTube, please exit out and go to your favorite streaming platform, whether that is Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast at, and go listen to us there. And you can listen to our song of the week, or you can go to Apple Music and go to our playlist and find our previous songs of the week featuring Roddy Rebel. All right, though, it's that time, Slick.
And we give him a quick one. It's fine.
All right. You know what you're here for. For the people's choice, the people's favorite, Slick. Drop it.
I can be toxic, but so what? You gonna love it here. Shit, fuck is you talking about? We have fun over here. It's very fun here.
And it's fun indeed. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the TSA, the Toxic Service Announcement.
Yo, you know shorty who used that sound got a podcast? That shit is alright.
Wait, what?
The girl the toxic shorty, she had a podcast. That shit is alright.
Oh, for real?
And she was on Angelique's shit too when the episode of Cardi B was out.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Shout out to her, though.
I forgot her name. I follow her on Twitter, but I'll bring it up next time when I'm live.
All right.
What we talking about? How toxic is this about to get?
Oh, all right. So I'll let you judge because we got, over the last couple weeks, we could go mature or we can get toxic.
Do what you want to do, nigga. I'll give you 10 minutes. Let's go.
You don't give me 10 minutes because then you leave me out here by myself and they be like, oh, Brian was wild and then Slick, you was over here entertaining it.
Yep. I definitely want to entertain it, but you got 10 minutes. So let's see what's about to happen. What you got? Roll dice. Let's get it. Let's call it out.
All right. What'd you fucking handicap, chick?
Wow. How handicapped we talking? Like we talking we talking like she can't go up steps handicap. We talking like what we talking?
You can't say that.
How can I say that? I was asking a question.
You can't say you can't say
if I can't say it, why you just said it?
Because I'm trying to tell you what not to say. Anyways, there's different. Okay. Let's give context to why I asked this question. That one, didn't I? Because I was shout out to the Talk Heavy podcast and the David Wade Network. There's a lot of podcasts I've been listening to, but there is a stigma of, especially in movies, that a lot of girls get to. They've been seen with the handicapped men or whatnot, but it's not really the same. Vice versa, it's not really. So that's why there was a question like, "Would you fucking handicap chick?"
Well, shit, I asked that.
Come on now.
It depends on what handicap. I don't know what I think if you don't.
All right, let's start off.
If you can't process,
let's do this. Wheelchair. I fuck a wheelchair chick up. Oh God.
I was about to say she can't do that push shit out because her legs don't work. That makes sense.
What? And you can bend it like a pretzel. She don't got no muscles in there.
She still has bones. She still has bones. It's not man. She might not feel it, but that shit gonna be wonky. You hear that shit go crack because you try and get it.
And then imagine if you getting your dick sucked with it.
My goodness, front of a wheelchair, girl.
Yeah, bro, you just stand up, bro. It's lit.
I'm wild. I'm Jeff Hardy. I'm standing on the handlebars and be like, spin this bitch around while you do this. Put this shit in hyperdrive. Let's go.
That's a fact. But I ain't gonna lie to you.
All right, come on.
I had the girl. I was friends with a girl in high school that used the stick. The two. I shouldn't call it two sticks. Not a crutch. I don't know. It was a crutch, but I don't know what's it called. But it's got that little handle, like a quarter, and they hold it.
Why are you Harlem shaking? She was Harlem shaking when she used it.
Yeah, when she walked, because she couldn't really walk that well.
She was fine.
What? She was fine as hell.
I did it.
I hit it.
I'm a person.
Raw too.
I'm a personality nigga too. So her personality was popping too. I was lit. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, that's why I say, any girls you got handicapped, but I feel like most of these girls, anyways, if they don't have no physical handicap, they mentally handicapped.
I was about to say, if you can't process emotions, you handicapped to me. So I've been there, done that.
If you can't take accountability, you mentally handicapped.
About to say,
If you think you got the juice box and you think your coochie just wet out of nowhere, you handicapped. So we've been fucking handicapped chicks for a while then. So I don't even know how to answer this question then. And also we've been fucking these girls with low iron. So these girls be handicapped on a low too. So I ain't gonna hold you.
Almost pass out when you put the AC at 65. You right?
Yo, bro, how many of you girls are anemic out here, bro? We gotta do a case study because there's no way in hell all you girls are anemic out here. Son, y'all be mad cold out of nowhere. I'm like, yo, go take those big ass iron pills.
I support the disabled. I'm dicking you down, shorty. It's cool.
Dick all in your mouth, shorty. You heard it from B Breezy. But now let's get a little mature though.
After we just talked about rah. Okay, cool.
Of course, you got it. It's called righteousness and righteousness. Come on now. So let's actually talk about this Black Man and Therapy video that you sent me on Twitter before, man. It's really becoming bad out here for us Black men. They want us to go to therapy, but they complain when we express our emotions. Do you got that stuff cleared up?
Don't you want to be able to communicate with your bitch? I think yes, right? Long gone are the days where you can just shut down. Bitches is not tolerating that. Like, it used to be where men provided financially or with schmeat, and bitches can make their own self come and we can pay for our own shit. So I'm gonna need y'all to catch up on the emotional part. If a bitch is telling you, I need you to communicate more, open your fucking mouth. But you know what I realized? And let me back up. A common misconception about me as a clinician is that 90% of my clientele have been men. Black men specifically. And what we specifically work on is expanding their emotional vocabulary, because a lot of y'all motherfuckers don't even have the words to express how you're feeling. So when you expand your vocabulary and knowledge of what you are experiencing, because y'all are human beings who experience feelings and emotions and don't have to choke that shit down no more. Y'all ain't had to choke that shit down since 2016.
All right, I'm just going to jump into this. I'm just going to, I'm going to dive.
Go right ahead.
All right. I hear what she's saying. I'm the king of, you gotta be better as emotional men. But how you going to tell a woman that you're emotional because of some shit she did just for her to flip it on you? And I think that that's probably the part that's removed from this. And it's kind of off-putting because she said it. She's a therapist. She's a clinician. And she works with the majority of Black men. And the comment probably says it better than I can say it. It says, imagine a Black man going to therapy and a therapist is a carbon copy of the person that traumatized them in the first place. And that's real shit. Because I think she said at her point, women, we love the fact that y'all can make yourself come, that y'all get your own money. But a lot of, not even directly, but indirectly, it's thrown in men's faces. What can you do for me? I don't need what you did 30 years ago, right? But for the men, it's like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to ask for in regards to that? Because all I'm asking you to do is not diminish yourself, but support, listen, be available in those spaces. And when you go against the grain and you do this shit, you act, I guess Steve Harvey wise would say, like a man, or you do unbecoming shit or shit that hurts me, or I'm do some shit that brings something up in me. You're not, like we talk about emotionally handicapped, right? A lot of women would rather fight about us making them feel bad for their actions as opposed to hearing out why we're upset. And once you go through that, but so many times as a man, you generally shut down because, like, what am I talking to you for? How can I talk to you about what's bothering me when it's literally like I've done every possible thing to address the issue outside of you because I brought it to you. And you shit on me. Mm-hmm. You told me I can't be mad at this. You belittled while I was upset. You went tit for tat. You heard the part that you can make an argument with and argued that part, but negated the other part.
Deflect.
And it's the point of, like, you want us to use these words. You want us to open up. You want us to be emotionally available because you said it. You can't just provide money and dick, even though social media tells us that's all y'all want from us. And you want money and dick. So I'm very confused. Like, again, it's not attacking the young lady or any woman that thinks, but it's like, this is the conversation we're having. We can't have these think pieces of, oh, men don't emotionally open up. Men don't communicate. Men don't. No, men do these things with the right one woman they see fit to do it with. But when that woman does not take them seriously, or women in the past, their mothers, because I had a relationship, it could be their mothers, be their female friends, it could be whoever. Somebody doesn't take them seriously. Why am I talking anymore? You've lost me. So
you are preaching.
I'm just saying, like, I get it, because as a black man in therapy, I understand it. Like, yes, we want us to open up. We want to open up to you, but it is difficult when you. I think we played a video a couple weeks back where it was like the woman said that men get tired of the fact that they try to tell you what's wrong, and if it's something that you caused, you get mad. You feel like you have a right to be upset. Like, how dare you be mad at me for doing what I want to do?
And you could continue after this, but how many times, and men, if y'all listen, how many times when you was upset at what your woman has done, but she flipped it on you, and you end up having to apologize?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And girls, don't be upset about this. How many times have y'all used that tactic to get out of saying I'm sorry?
And to not
be honest with yourself. This is not an attack. Just be honest and reflect.
Yeah. Like, this is not us shitting on women. This is like literally we are synthesizing a problem. The video was very triggering because it's like I heard what she was saying, but it's also like your job is to be she seemed to be fed up with black men. And if your job is to service and fix these black men, that's like a teacher going to teach black students knowing they hate black people.
Yep.
And that might sound a little intense, but hear me out. If you go into a situation trying to fix something that you naturally have a problem with, it's going to be difficult because you're not going to just see the person. You're going to see whatever, like she told about the traumas and stigmas that the men felt, the traumas and stigmas that she is attributing to black men, she might project onto her clients, right? And I think that man to woman, that's another thing. We project our traumas onto our partners, men and women, and only one historically has been made to feel safe enough to speak up about that in a protected way. So it's definitely a work in progress on both fronts, but we can't sit here and pretend like, yo, it's like things don't just happen because it's the way things have always been, if that makes sense. It's like, if you can't talk to somebody, especially somebody you claim to love, a lot of times there was an event that showed you that you can't talk to them. You feel me?
Yeah.
So, and it could be like I said, some people can't speak to their moms for real. Some people can't speak to their aunts, their cousins, their female friends, their partners,
their sisters.
There's niggas that can't speak to their wives, and they married the motherfuckers. You feel me?
That's a fact. And just to piggyback on what you're saying, man, I'm reading some of these comments under the video, bro, and it's just kind of like, as a guy, when we read this, would you expect us to? One comment: men talk crazy AF to each other, but the moment a woman throw a few curse words at y'all get sensitive. Prime example of what you just said, Slick. As a man, we kind of feel like our feelings are invalid. Sorry to say, but it's kind of feel like if we do come to y'all with our problems, it's kind of like we're causing a burden in a sense.
Like, now
and we shouldn't feel that way.
Like, I cook and clean. Why do I have to care about your feelings? I give you, like, but it's like it could always be on the flip. And
I want to put out there too, like, I have a black female therapist. Shout out to you, Dr. Asia Jones, and I think you do too, right, Slick?
I do, Dr. Reed. Shout out to her.
So this is not about black female therapists, because I know some of the other comments was like, "Oh, this is why black men needs to seek black male therapists." I don't really want to touch that because I kind of like my therapist a lot, and she has helped me a lot. So I can't even just sit here and shit on black female therapists. I
just thought about that though. A lot of black men don't see male therapists that I know of, anyway.
I mean, to me, I haven't seen the black male therapist, but I have seen a white male therapist.
I haven't even seen that many black male. I see like social workers, but I haven't seen a black male.
Oh yeah, like I had a guidance counselor that I was really cool with in school that helped me out.
That's like guys. That's like the act. That's like the. I'm talking about in the adult stages. Think about that. There aren't many black male therapists I've come across. I haven't heard, and the people that I do know that go to therapy don't find black male. I think in my whole therapeutic search, I looked for a black woman. I never thought to look at a man. And it's like, I think too, it's also like When you think about
stigma, do you think because it's not manly enough to be a black male therapist? Maybe that might be the case.
I mean, I feel like the same thing like a black male teacher. Like they niggas treat me like I'm a fucking dime a dozen.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like I'm like,
but that's it. But that's because I had a lot of black male teachers growing up.
I didn't. I had like 2.
Except for in high school, but in high school it was much of white. I went to the white area, so
even when I went to school in the hood, I don't think I had that many black. I mean, my gym teachers were
yeah.
white.
When I was in the hood, I had black. But in all, with just this the therapy section, it's hard. Because it's so hard to sit here and say these things without having them feel triggered. Because one thing I realized is, as soon as you say how you feel, it's kind of like attacking how they feel, and it's kind of like, no, I'm not trying.
Yeah, it's like a character attack. Because think about it. When you do something fucked up, you open yourself up, and this is a man too. When you do something fucked up, you open yourself to an assault on your character, but it's predicated off of your actions. So if you fuck up, you have to be willing to hear that. You feel me? I think that's something that on both sides, like there's accountability on both sides. Like as a man, if I do something that you don't like, you have every right to call me this, that, and the third, and be ready to black on me, and we can have that. But I have to be able to take that and have that conversation. And I think that on the other end, we always talk about equity, right? I think that is something that we have to get to as a place, ladies, that we can have that conversation with y'all as well. Not like I said, this is not aimed at anybody specific, but just like in that overall line of thinking that she was portraying. If a man comes to you with a legitimate gripe, not some shit like, oh, I don't like you wearing your hair like that, or some controlling, because there's a fine line between controlling and inappropriate actions. And respecting your partner. Yes. So it's like, if it's a respect thing, oh, babe, I don't like when you wear that shirt. I feel like your boobs is a little too exposed. It pops out when I'm around you. I don't want you going out like that. Yes, you might love the top, but it's also like, yo, I'm out for my sanity. Like saying you won't want me outside gray sweatpants and shit. You feel me?
You feel me? Hold your daddy shorts.
Yeah, versus like, oh, I don't like when you around this dude because we've already seen some, and you told me some inappropriate things. Like, wow, like it's things like that. Like it's not about, but it's like you wanting to do something for yourself that is harmless. Cool. That's a person trying to change that. They might be trying to be overly controlling or overly safe. But if there's actual cause to their reason that they feel a certain way, just be open to listening and just be open to like, yo, all right, I understand what you're saying.
And I want to touch on, I also think that they want us to express ourselves the way they do, and I think that's where. And I'm not big on the whole gender roles and all the other stuff. Oh, men act this way, women act this way. But if you have a lot of years of expressing yourself this way, and I have a lot of years of expressing myself that way, you can't just think I'm going to up and change it just with therapy for like 1 or 2 years and start expressing myself the way that you want me to express. It starts out from a young, and I think, and I kind of hate the myth that guys have low emotionally. We kind of like we're not really emotional in a sense, because we are emotional, but we kind of go about it a different way than I think women go about it.
We have things that you guys got to take on the chin you're taught.
Yeah, and then there's some things that we do express through other actions and other means. So I think that's a lot of things that women have to stop doing, in a sense, is to stop expecting us to express ourselves the way they either you express it or you want us to express it. We will have to find our own way to express it, and then try to explain to you this is how we feel.
And a lot of times, if you do express it the way they express it, they're gonna feel even more attacked. Like, wait a minute, what the fuck was happening here?
Yeah, because I'm looking at some of these.
You can't read the comments, bro.
Yeah, I can't. It's bad for my mental health, because it's kind of like guys are openly telling you why they don't want to express, and then it's just a lot of deflection. And I'm just talking about the women in these comments. I'm not talking about women in general. Yeah. It's just a lot of deflection of women, and then just kind of like, wait, you do this to us, and it's kind of like once we start doing the tit for tat games, we all lose at the family feuds at the end of the day once that starts to happen.
But you know what? I still beat though. That's right.
Okay, all right. He obviously want to end it. All right. Please follow us on all social media at This Might Not Go. If you have any branded deals, business opportunities, please email us at thismightnotgo@gmail.com. I'm the host with the most, Breezy, aka Poppy Salzon.
It's your boy Slick. We out of here, y'all. See y'all soon.
Pick out.
Check Try to tell them we up next, you can't stop that. This your favorite podcast. Every show is lit, baby. You know what we finna do. Slick gon' talk that slick talk, he gon' get political. Do not switch topics, niggas is toxic. Poppy shots don't always saying something wrong, but if you don't like it, what we saying, nigga, oh well. We try to tell you, baby, this might not go well. This might not go. Hey, that's it. One take. We're not even doing it again. Keep that. That's the one.